Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Thursday, May 25th, 2023. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. Yes, it's another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. But firstly, I want to say it again. It's another day to be thankful. Why? Because we are here. And anytime you are given another day to live, that is something to be thankful for. If you are out there traveling about today, make sure you say a prayer, keep yourself safe, keep your family members safe, use that hand sanitizer. Just do your part to stay safe and be well in every way. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And I thank you so much for your support and your donations. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Thank you so much. Well, the topic of today's episode is make better choices moving forward. Very simple. Make better choices moving forward. Each day we live, we have another opportunity to do something that we've never done before. Each day we live, we have an opportunity to set the course for something new. Not just for you as an individual, but for your family members, for your friends, for the people that you love, and even for people that you don't know. Because we are, in some way, we are connected to one another. If it's somebody on your job, somebody you meet in the grocery store, yes, we all are connected to one another. And I know a lot of people don't always want to believe that, but it's the truth, because we are a part of humanity. Yes, we are. But this topic, starting over, it's a simple topic. And I just want to get straight to the point of all things, because starting over is something I see personally as a great opportunity. At one point or another, I believe that many of us have been in situations where we had to just start over. And of course, like I stated, starting a new day is an opportunity to do something we've never done before. So starting over is seen to some as a daunting task, but I don't see it that way. When you decide that you want to change something in your life, or if you are deciding to do something that you've never done before, then you have to see it as a time or place in your life where you are starting over. It could be a career, relationship, a personal project. Starting over is not something we should feel overwhelmed with, because you have an opportunity, and starting over can be a great fresh perspective with a sense of purpose. It's always good to evaluate what you have done, not in a negative context, but evaluate what you have done so that you can learn from your experience, not to repeat the same things. Personally, I was just discussing the topic earlier, and of course meditating on some things personally to decide what new things I want to do, what new things do I want to experience. And starting over, to some, unfortunately, they may see it as a step backwards, but it's not a step backwards. it is essential to recognize that the experience of your failures is supposed to be lessons. And that's why it's so important to evaluate what you have gone through, what you need to do. And you will determine from that where you need to go or how you need to grow. Take some time to reflect on your experiences so that you can gain clarity. But don't look at it in a negative sense. Don't look at it like, oh, well, I made a lot of mistakes and this is what I did and it's a bad thing. Because if you look at some of the things that you didn't do well, unfortunately, that can position you to be too hard on yourself. So you don't want to be hard on yourself. You want to forgive yourself, and you want to give yourself grace. Just as you extend grace to others, you want to extend that same grace to yourself. Forgive yourself for anything that you didn't do correctly. Forgive yourself for anything you may not be proud of. We've all done things that we are not proud of. We all, in some way or another, have failed at something at some time in our lives. And it's okay, because many of us have failed to go forward, right? But starting over is a sense of purpose. It is a sense of purpose, and it also represents a new chapter in your life. As I stated, it could be a career choice, it could be a relationship, it could be a personal project of some kind where you are just starting over. I want to explore some topics here to inspire you with some tips and insight about how to embrace starting over with a new chapter in your life. It's so important that we have the right perception about starting over, because when we have the right perception about starting over, then we won't look at it as if we have messed up, or we won't look at it as if shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? A lot of us, sometimes we have gone through things in our life and we measure ourselves, comparing ourselves to someone else, and we should not do that. We should never compare ourselves as individuals to someone else, because we all have a different journey. We all have a different journey with a different purpose. We all function in different seasons and times for different reasons and different purposes. So we should never compare our lives to someone else. It's okay to look at something in an honest way and reach a goal, and have a long-term goal and a short-term goal according to a plan that you may have. It's okay to look at things that way. It's okay to be determined about it, but don't be too hard on yourself. If you don't get to the finish line when you wanted to get to the finish line, don't be too hard on yourself, because our journey has a lot of purpose, and everybody has a different journey. But starting over and embracing what is new and not looking back to bask on the things that failed or the things that didn't work out. Don't do that. Don't bask in those thoughts, because you got to look at what you didn't do as a lesson. You got to look at it as the wisdom and the knowledge that you have obtained from the things that you have gone through. It's all good. It all works out for you good, because every single day you live, it's an opportunity to do something that you've never done before. And no matter how old you are, It's always good to do something new, and it's always good to project the thing that you want to see happen. It's always good to do that. So, tip number 1 is recognize that the experience of your failures offered you valuable lessons. Take the time to reflect. I said that. Take the time to reflect on your experiences. Understand what worked and what didn't work. And use the insight of your reflection to do what you have to do to make better choices moving forward. You don't want to focus on your failures in the wrong kind of way. You got to make sure you focus on what didn't work the right type of way to learn from it. Number 2, set new goals. Starting over provides an idea of opportunities and new goals and a fresh attitude, a fresh projection. So set new goals. Always, when you finish one goal, set another goal. The goals, they don't have to be large goals. Set small goals. Whatever it is you desire to experience, you can experience it no matter what it is. But set the small goals, and then the small goals will eventually turn into large goals. Keep a motivated focus. As you keep a motivated focus, you will have the right mindset to keep going forward. Break down your goals into action steps and celebrate your progress along the way. Right now, I'm on a health and wellness journey, and I have goals when it comes to my weight and how I should eat. And so what I do is I set small goals, and the small goal is I have to fast, and I have to determine what is the best time to eat during the day and what's the best time not to eat, so that I am consuming enough liquids, water, and consuming the nutrients that I need in order to basically have energy, and at the same time have muscle mass and all that good stuff, just to feel good, because I'm getting older and we got to manage aging. And I know, some of you 40-year-olds and 30-year-olds and even 20-year-olds, look, if you're going to be here, you're going to age. So it's good to start managing how you age right now, because some people look at older people and they say, oh, well, I'm not old, I don't have to worry about that. Well, guess what? If you want to see 40, if you want to see 50, you should start managing how you age even now by putting together a health and wellness plan. So that is one of my goals. And I look at it like this. Each day that I live, I look at it like, okay, I'm starting over. Because each day represents starting something new to me. So each day that I live, my health and wellness goal is, okay, a new day. I'm starting over. I'm starting the goal over each day. Because if I look at it like a long-term thing, I don't want it to overwhelm me. And when I say overwhelm me, sometimes when we say we're going to do something, we look at the result. We look at getting to the result because we want to get to the result real quick. But if you process yourself to take it one day at a time, it just feels better that way. So, starting over, we should always set small goals, and then the small goals turn into the larger goals to see the results. And of course, celebrate your progress along the way. The next tip is surround yourself, of course, with positivity. Surround yourself with positivity to keep a fresh attitude, to keep a fresh mindset, because you are starting over, starting a new day. So you want to keep a fresh perspective about pressing through your challenges. You want to keep a fresh perspective about your confidence and what it takes to press through starting over. Being consistent with the plans that you have made. Being consistent with the effort that you're going to press with every single day. So surround yourself with positivity. That is very, very, very important, because starting over should represent everything that is new. I was listening to a young woman earlier today. She was talking about her marriage, and she was talking about how she wanted to start fresh in her marriage because her marriage was failing. So one of the things she said was she wanted to get rid of everything that was old. And she asked her husband to get rid of friends and past relationships that didn't serve him well. She asked him to get rid of everything that they didn't need as a married couple. And when she said that, it just made me think about, yes, we should always get rid of the things that don't serve us anything good when we are starting over. When you start a new day, you should always think about getting rid of the things that don't serve you, the things that don't uplift you, the things that don't serve you to be a better person. Because when you decide that you want to start over with a goal or whatever it is you are working on, you have to have support, and you have to make sure that you shape your environment, because your environment is going to be like food. It's going to cater to how you think. So you have to do that. And that's why I said surround yourself with positivity. Because if you are surrounding yourself with mentors and co-workers and people that encourage you to succeed and people that boost your confidence, guess what? Then you will keep that fresh perspective that I was talking about. The next tip is take care of yourself when you are starting over. Unfortunately, sometimes people that are working on certain types of goals pertaining to starting over, sometimes they could feel overwhelmed and stressed. And you don't have to go through that, because it's all about pacing yourself. As I stated earlier, it's all about taking one day at a time and pacing yourself so that you know what you need to do, you know where you are going, you know how you're going to do it, and you are putting into place the tools that's going to help you to execute the goal that you are trying to achieve by starting over. So take care of yourself. Don't allow yourself to be stressed or overwhelmed. Take it one day at a time. In the process of starting over, make sure that you exercise, meditate, eat well, and go through the whole process of mental self-care. Mental self-care has everything to do with how you think. Yes, mental self-care has everything to do with what are you meditating on? What are you thinking about? Are you meditating on the stress of how you're going to achieve the goal? Are you meditating on what resources you have to obtain? No, don't think about all those things. Start with the small goals that will eventually turn into larger goals. And when you do that, you're going to see a building result over time, because you are putting into motion everything you need to do to start over. Starting over has everything to do with a new mindset, a new attitude, a fresh perspective, and extending grace to yourself, forgiving yourself from the past mistakes, past failures, the things you didn't do, and extending that grace to yourself to start to do something new. Sometimes I can be really, really hard on myself. And I'm hard on myself because I believe and expect the best always. Always. I strive for excellence in everything that I do. And when certain things don't happen quick enough, I have to understand and tell myself all the time, it's a process. And the process is not controlled by me. The process is controlled by God. And the reason why I say the process is controlled by God is because God, in the midst of our journey, God is using different tools to bring the best out of us. And sometimes when you pray for something and it doesn't happen right away, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that sometimes you could be in a process. So when you are starting over, make sure you keep a fresh perspective, a fresh mindset, a fresh attitude about starting new. And as I stated, each day that you live is a new opportunity to start something new, to do something you've never done before, and to set small goals to experience the larger goals. So in conclusion, I'm going to say this. Starting over is a powerful action, and it requires a lot of courage and determination. Embrace the opportunities to learn from your past, as I stated, set new goals, and of course, surround yourself with positive people in a caring environment. And don't forget, you have to remember, you have to make sure that you understand and prioritize self-care throughout this journey. There will always be challenges along the way, but with a positive mindset and a focus on the future, you can turn the page and create a life you love. So thank you so much for once again taking the time to listen to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I appreciate you. And I want to remind you again, I need you to give. So make sure you give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And if you are not comfortable giving on those apps, please contact me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email, and I will provide instructions for you there to give. So I thank you for listening. Make sure you share this podcast with others. And if you would like to reach out to me on social media, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, TikTok. I'm not dancing over there, but there is inspirational and motivational content. Make sure you subscribe to me wherever you listen to podcasts. And of course, subscribe to me on YouTube. Leave me some feedback. Don't leave nothing negative because I will delete it. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. You got to do that. But most importantly, share this podcast with others, and give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or at Venmo at SB Favor. Thank you so much for your support. You have a good day.